people, putting profits ahead of the safety and welfare of our local citizens. And this we will not allow. A key element in the North Morris Estate's inability to obtain a license is its seeming refusal to fix the park's water problem. There have been multiple reports of tap water flowing that is brown in color, distasteful, and with an odor. Here's an example of that water from this park. Potential violations of Michigan's Safe Drinking Water Act remain under investigation, and additional charges under that statute may be forthcoming. I know that Michigan laws governing mobile home parks have not been updated for some time. And as prosecutors, we always appreciate it when lawmakers provide us with additional tools in our toolbox to assist us in keeping communities safe. We are fortunate to have State Senator John Cherry here with us today. Senator Cherry is a champion for the middle class, and he's currently working on a package of bills that would reform the mobile home park laws in the state of Michigan. At this time, I would ask Senator Cherry to come forward and offer some remarks. Senator? Thank you.
First, I want to thank our prosecutor, David Layton, and the folks, whether that is the township supervisor, Commissioner Cousineau, our state police officers, and the residents for all the work that they have undertaken to try to correct the situation that is here existing in North Morris Estates. There have been countless hours that have been put in to bringing forward these charges. Volunteers who live in the community, volunteers who live outside the community, folks who work in government, countless hours to bring these charges. And the fact of the matter is, no one should be living in a situation in which this is the color of the water that comes out of their tap, right? And it shouldn't take the amount of work that the folks behind me have put in order to start to seek a remedy to this situation. So I want to thank them for the work that they put in, tireless work. And what it says to me is not only do we have great public servants working behind me, but we also need to update the laws to make their jobs easier, because this is not an isolated incident here in Thetford Township. This is happening across the state of Michigan. And what we've seen, there were reports earlier this year that Michigan is the highest concentration of manufactured housing communities that are owned and operated by out-of-state private equity firms in the nation. We are the front line of this type of behavior on behalf of businesses in the manufactured housing space. So we need to change our laws to make the folks who enforce them have an easier pathway to preventing this type of work or this type of problem from occurring, and making sure when it does occur that those problems are dealt with in a timely manner so we can protect the health and safety of our residents. So again, I want to thank all the folks who have put work into seeking a correction to this issue. And also, I want to thank the folks who are working to help advance changes to our laws to make enforcement easier for the people of the state of Michigan. Thank you.
Commissioner Martin Cousineau has been very supportive of my office's efforts throughout this investigation. And as you know, he represents this district, and he also provides some of the funding for our prosecution office. So it's with great pleasure I bring Commissioner Cousineau forward. Commissioner.
Yeah, thank you, Prosecutor Layton. As you can see behind me, as others have said, this is a large effort by multi-level government efforts from the beginning, which is, I got to give credit to Theo Gantos, the resident that has come forward and tirelessly acted on behalf of his fellow residents to make this issue come to the forefront. I've had a lot of talks with him over the last few years concerning this, and it's not been easy. It takes a lot of cooperation, but I want you to know government works and we do cooperate to bring these types of events to the forefront, to prosecute the people that violate the safety and welfare of our residents. And I can't say enough concerning the prosecutor and Senator Cherry. I've worked with them over the years to make this county a better county and the state of Michigan, by extension, a better community. Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier, our criminal charges complement the civil litigation filed by Thedford Township. Supervisor Stanky and her board authorized the filing of that lawsuit, and I would ask her to offer remarks at this time.
I'd like to start off first by thanking David Layton's office for pursuing charges against North Morris Estates. I'd also like to thank a couple people with the TRO that the township was able to receive on Thursday. Mike Attorney Gildner is the township attorney, as well as our building official, Matt Hart. They did an amazing job with this. Also with the guidance of Theo. He's been a tremendous help in leading the way for the residents in this neighborhood. And I think this is our first step moving forward in this township and in this community, letting everyone know that we're not going to stand for any type of undue work in these mobile home parks. So I want to thank on behalf of the township to the state police. They've also been heavily involved in this, and thank you for your time.
Lastly, I want to give a shout out to the Michigan State Police. We wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for the efforts of Detective Trooper McLean. Thank you over here. Thank you so much. And also Lieutenant Vetter and the post commander, Lieutenant Qureshi, who supervises what the detective does. So prosecutions depend on excellent investigations. We have a thorough investigation here. I left my file in the car. It's this thick, and that's the one they gave me. The folks who actually were working on it, reading and writing, and eventually wrote the warrants, they have a very thick box of documents that have led to this day. So that's where we're at. Media, if you have any questions, fire away. Sir.
What can you tell us about ownership? You said it was out of state. Is it a private equity firm, or
it's owned by an out-of-state corporation, as many mobile home parks are. They have been less than cooperative in trying to assist us and assisting them to get a license. And as I said, I suspect it's because they don't want to deal with the underlying issue. And I think this is a big underlying issue, because without a water permit from Eagle, they can't get a mobile home permit. And Eagle's not going to give them a safe water permit if this is what's coming out of the taps. Anyone else?
What's next steps at this point? Obviously, these folks are still here living in this mobile home park. Are you looking at removing folks from here and evicting folks, or?
I certainly hope it doesn't get to that. I mean, there are folks living here who are comfortable living here, but I don't think out-of-state corporations should be putting profits over people. This shouldn't be coming out of the tap. There's other issues as well, and we intend to. It's a multifaceted approach. The township with its civil case in front of Judge Piquel, and now we have this case. And while 1 year in jail doesn't sound like a whole lot, anybody here want to volunteer to go to jail for a year? Probably not. So we have sanctions in place that upon conviction should get somebody's attention.
Has this happened before in the area or what state?
Actually, this is the very first time in the state of Michigan that a prosecutor has filed criminal charges under the Mobile Home Act. I am a pioneer in doing that. And as you know, thank you. As you know from covering me, I've We're the first ones under the safe gun law, the storage law. And now we're the first ones under this law. And I'm happy to show the way. I'm happy to try to protect the people who live in this park.
Can you show the water one more time?
Sure. You're not going to ask me to drink it, though, right?
I would like,
Yes, sir.
where was that sample drawn?
From a tap in this park.
Okay. Was it tested by your county laboratories?
This particular one, no, but Eagle is getting to that. And water will be tested, I assure you. Any other questions from the media? Thank you very much. Appreciate you covering this.